gold at that time. And you know, at that time, I didn't have the greatest smile, but I had braces, and then my mom's was like, she didn't know I had them taken off for it. So I got like an ass whooping and all that. Yeah, it was serious, but yeah, I mean, yeah, back then gold fronts was big. We had a lot of West Indians in our community, so they inspired us as well to get some gold.
So I'm gonna try this. The gear dresser, chop bagger, Marvin Hagler, rap stabber, eat you alive, gold tarantula. Sounds familiar?
Wow. The way you said it was like science, right?
I'm trying, right? So that's Shaolin versus Wu-Tang, 2011. So tell the audience, what's the significance of your tarantula piece?
You know, I wanted to do something different because I see that, you know, we were all attracted to what the guys in the early 80s was doing. Back then, you know, it was gold ropes, that was everything, handful of rings. You know, so as the times changed with different pieces, I wanted to do something totally different. And actually, the tarantula came from one of my friends basically having a chain with a tarantula on it as well.
What's your friend's name?
His name is Power.
Oh.
Yeah. So,
okay,
you know,
so Power had that.
Yeah, so you know, we was kind of like pretty much in the street together, hanging out. So it became like a symbol, and I guess I always loved it because it kind of represented crawling through, pushing through, taking your time. And I just said, yo, you know, we're gonna keep that legacy alive with it, and that's what it was.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know that. So I'm gonna quote something from your book, From Staircase to Stage. And in it, you said, a hustler don't stack his money, he shows it on himself for the world to see. What does truck jewelry mean to you? And that statement right there.
Truck jewelry is basically a way of saying that you got stuff that you feel is worth something to you. Whether it's one chain, whether it's, well, you know, it has to be multiple chains or multiple rings, though. That's what we consider truck, but it's really that first piece that you care about, you know? Whether it's big to you or small, it's truck because it's yours. It's what you earned, what you felt you deserved at that time. And now, you know, you see these young guys and, you know, they wear a lot of jewelry because it's a form of success. It's like a ritual that you were able to accomplish for yourself.
That's right. Where do you think that came from? Why do you think our people, you know, decided to invest in some jewelry as a status piece, as an identifier, as a marker of success?
I think it's just because, you know, we kings and queens without even knowing. You know, we've been through so much, and, you know, I was always taught that the hardest working person is a king, you know, within himself. To be able to take care of yourself, to be able to take care of others, and make things happen for your family. So with us just loving jewelry, it's like almost like saying, yo, you deserve a reward to look at every day. And know that that could give you the ability to strive more. You know, it's like when you look at somebody that is accomplishing something, it's almost an inspiration. So for us, just to wear shiny, you know, shiny material that means something, that's just gives you that glow that you've been wanting in your life, that's important to us. So it was all about the rewards.
The rewards, the shine, the bling, right? You being seen, right? Like, it's like having that jewelry and people seeing you and seeing that jewelry. Do you think that there's any, when you talk about kings and queens, the origin, the bloodline, the DNA, things that we just don't know, but it goes right back to Africa and some of the things that how we were identified by. separating us from tribes and so on and so forth. Do you feel like that is ingrained in us, African Americans, the African
Absolutely.
diaspora?
At one point, yeah, we did have to wear a different kind of chain to, express ourselves, and now we know that whatever we had to go through, it's a different time, it's a different day. We know the power that we hold. That's why these materials, these precious materials come from these beautiful places where people struggle and go through what they go through in order to be great, So I love the fact that my African culture is the ones that basically bring it to the table, It's like, I went to Africa a couple of years, probably like around, I say about probably like 96. We had went to Africa to go to like the mines and all of that, where a lot of these people out there, they were living amongst these mountains that had, precious stones and metals, diamonds, gold, everything in it. And it was just like going back in time. But when you think of history like, Mansa Musa, one of the richest black men in the world, you read these books, you will hear how he basically had so much of it, and he always shared with his people, he gave opportunities, he helped so many people that he had so much, and it's like, I guess that was his heart, just telling them like, it's time that we understand who we are and empower each other, and that was a way to put jury on us and make us feel like, like you made it and you deserve those rewards.
I have another question for you. What are your top 3 favorite pieces of jewelry that you have right now?
Well, this one right now. Well, this is a remake of that one. I decided to get this one because a lot of my fans, they felt that, it was something different. I make all my stuff though. I never really like to go get the same pieces because I don't really look at it as something that is going to be, whether it's valuable to others or not. I look at it as a part of my legacy, So when people remember me, they'll remember that. They'll remember, certain things that I may pass down to my kids or something. Just to, like you said, we kings within ourselves. So between this, I had this Woo watch that I had basically made on my own out of a Rolex. I had put the W in it, and it was from one of these legendary jewelry guys out here. His name is Manny. He used to be on 47th Street, and I remember him, me just coming to him and telling him, I want to put the W in it. And he was like, you don't do this to a Rolex. I said, I'm doing this to my Rolex. That's what I want for mine, man. I'm paying for it, And the other piece probably was, I say probably like, I got a ring with the R on it for my logo.
Okay. Wu-Tang, when I think about jewelry, you guys had like a specific style, right? Like, all y'all had big jewelry, pieces that really identified you guys. What do you think? Like, what was that? That was the Brooklyn. Like, what is Staten Island, Brooklyn? Like, what was that?
Nah, it was just, we was coming up in a time back in the 90s to where, we watch people that was, not from here, Jamaicans, West Indians. That's who inspired us. They came to the communities, they were hardworking immigrants that came to a land to make something happen for themselves. And at that time, they was wearing much gold, not talking about gold in their mouth, chains, all of this, but they were natural hustlers, and they showed us how to walk in the community. community, as far as with respect and be a man. If you gotta take care of your family, just certain principles. But these guys was wearing it. We was looking at it on TV, and we knew that the guys that was on TV, the artists that was wearing it, they were able to see how the West Indians was wearing it. Because if you go back, and I tell people this all the time, like, West Indian culture is a big part of our culture as not only black people, but hip hop. I tell people that all the time. And it was serious. I mean, they would come through and you could tell that they was winning. They was doing something. You ask them what they doing, and they be like, yo, boom, I got a beef patty shop, or I'm doing this, or it was always about doing something and not waiting for nobody to help them. So when we see them wearing it, they be partying, they go out, celebrate, they had chains on, rings on, and that became something in the neighborhood that attracted us.
Your jewelry game references have stood out. Let's reference some of them via your albums and mixtapes. You have Only Built Cuban Link, 1995, that's a classic, right?
Okay.
You have The Lex Diamond Story, 2003. You have Only Built for Cuban Link, Part 2, 2009. Raekwon Lost Jewelry, mixtape, 2013.
She did her homework.
Of course I did.
She did her homework.
So, with that being said, did you ever think about entering the jewelry game as an entrepreneur, and what would that look like for you today?
Wow. I thought about it. I thought about coming out with a line, or probably doing a podcast and talk to people about their jewelry and what it meant to them. Pretty much the same thing you're doing, so I want to be like you.
Stop it.
But nah, I mean, the sky's the limit. I don't know what's gonna happen.
We have a couple of brands out here.
Yeah,
Oh,
collabs.
okay, all right. April, that's
So,
right.
right.
That's my sister from Brooklyn. We be taking it.
No doubt. Nah, I mean, the sky's the limit. I mean, it's just about the opportunities and, the right timing. I'll be willing to do something like that. But, like I said, it'll be something that I will put my heart into, because, like I said, it's all about expression, When you see people wear jewelry, it's an expression. It's what they feel, it's what they earn, where they feel like they deserve that. And I always tell people, you gotta pay attention to feeling good about yourself, whatever makes you feel good, So, you never know, man, One day I hope y'all come if I do decide to do it.
I'm gonna get iced out, yeah. So, let me tell you, because of my love for jewelry, I collaborated with an acclaimed graffiti and fine artist, Blessed One, creating tech jewelry, an art collection of hand-painted canvases that personify the strength and boldness of hip-hop's culture and jewelry style. I'd like to invite Blessed One on stage to present a gift to you. Blessed?
I'm with him.
Wow. That's dope.
That's for you, Ray.
That's beautiful right there. Thank you. Yeah. Thank you. Round of applause to my brother. Appreciate it, man.
Yes, you did that. So, this one thing, and I'm going off script a little bit, right? Okay. So, now, it's my theory that, like, in hip hop, every crew, had a specific, like if you was down with them, they had like a specific piece, right? Tell me, what is Wu-Tang's piece? What is that piece that all of y'all have?
Well, the most important piece to me is the W within itself, the Wu logo. That piece was made, that particular logo was made by our DJ. His name is Allah Mathematics. Math was a graffiti writer. He was a writer, of course. And to me, that's like everything. That's like when you see the Batman symbol, and that's how we always envisioned it, like us being in the sky and being recognized by just that particular logo. And that wound up being one of the most infamous, famous logos in the game. A lot of people love that, a lot of fans, they have that on their body, so to me that's a work of art within itself.
So that W piece, what do you have? Do you have a ring? Do you have the pendant, or do you have it all? The watch, the pink tarantula ring?
Yeah. I mean, I got this pretty much. People know me for this. Ghost, he had the eagle. He had the eagle. Meth and Dirty, they had the fangs. We was just trying things that we felt was another character within us. So like how you said, you know about Lex Diamonds. That's when I was just super diamond crazy at the age of 24. Back then you had to really have some kind of respect in the street to wear stuff like that. And, we felt like we earned our position to wear that though, because there's been a lot of times where we would go places and people could get hurt for wearing them jewelry. I remember being in clubs and it was serious back in them times where you had to have some respect to having some things though. But, as we see today, we see a lot of kids out there wearing it, and I just pray for them. I just be like, yo, you gotta be safe, man, because it's a different time, and you still got people out there that's envious and just gotta be careful though.
I think that exists all the time, right? It happened heavy in the 80s too.
I mean, even with glasses, we came from that time where it's like it was so much of a rough time that if you had certain things, that mean that you were doing good for yourself. And you had envious people that wanted to try to hurt you for it. So, I just hope people be safe though, Like even myself, I don't wear jewelry all the time. It's something that I may pull out when I'm on stage and, want to make my fans feel like, he's in rap mode, it's like changing into an outfit, wow, flip it out and put it away.
Well, I think we have a little bit more time, Nicole. We do. So.
Can I say shout out my brother in the building, Jimmy?
Yes!
Woo! Salute, baby. Love you, man. So you can tell me more too. That's a Brooklyn night over there, right there. So
I know that.
Super stories from out of him as well, though. So.
Tell me one.
I mean,
Tell me right here.
We go back, like I said, from the same era. We came up in the same times. Everybody knew Boot Camp Click. That's a legendary group. I'm talking about the top tier guys in Brooklyn. We all come from the times of being on a train. We seen robberies happen with jewelry. We seen so many things with it. We seen how it elevated our culture and made us feel important and helped our skills and all that. Like, we don't just wear it because we feel like it's jewelry. It's a reward that you give yourself, that you feel like, Dad, now I could start visioning other things for myself.
Do you think that when you gain success in our culture, that the first thing that you buy is a piece of jewelry? Or what is it? Is it a car? Is it a piece of jewelry? Is it, what are we doing?
I think, it goes back to, like I said, us being kings and queens. It's like, it's all about accomplishments. and how you reward yourself with those accomplishments. So yeah, normally a guy that's coming in the game, yeah, he wants to, he wants to put on the jersey. I'm telling y'all, I'm being honest with y'all. Before I even had jersey, we used to drink like pink champagne and all that back in the days. And be on the block, right? So remember the aluminum foil? We used to take that off, fold it up,
Put it in our team.
Y'all remember those days? Am I fronting? I'm not fronting. Yeah, this is me. But that's how much we knew that we were kings and queens back then. That we would take whatever we had and just, everybody had their time to wear just chains. If you go back to Into the 36 Chambers, y'all, and y'all look at that cover, I had a keychain on. I guess I always loved chains. But it was a shoestring with my apartment key on it. Word. That's my first chain, y'all. That's my first chain. Yeah, but like I said, at the end of the day, it's about that giving you that ability to feel great. It's like sometimes, and I'm sure we all been in that situation where, we gotta go get groomed up, and it just does something to you once you become groomed up. A different state of mind hits you. You feel fresh. You feel ideas start hitting you. So all of that has a lot to do with,
And you feel rich too, right?
Totally.
Rich in the heart.
Yeah, that's a part of it. Well, I want to thank you for coming. It's really an honor to have you here and to represent hip hop culture. You really contributed a lot to this culture. And I just want to thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I think the audience might have some Q&A going on here.
Any questions?
Yeah, the phone's available.
Yes.
Put your hand up if you have a question. So, wait, this side.
So the question I have is, I think it's interesting how, like, the evolution of hip hop, and I remember a time where, like, bamboo earrings and sharp jewelry was like, that's hip hop, it's ghetto, it's street. You wouldn't see it anywhere else. Now all of a sudden, I'm seeing mainstream designers, like I think Betsy Johnson did some bamboo earrings, so that was very interesting to me. I just wanted to kind of ask you, like, what do you think about that, like the evolution of hip hop and fashion to being such a mainstream thing that now you have like couture designers, you're seeing it on the runway, like things that we've been wearing since the 80s.
Nah, I think, it transcends to the point to where it's like, this is one of the biggest cultures in the world, and we have done so much to empower not only just us as people of color, but people all over the world. Now you have these designers that grew up understanding what this whole culture is about, because it's really about expression. So people, they follow the trends. It's like I said, for us, we had to get the spark from somewhere that gave us the ability to feel like, yo, you could get it. Just take your time, and even if you get the smallest piece of jewelry, whatever it may be, a ring, it's a way that you can keep motivating yourself to get more. Whether it's jewelry, whether it's being a designer, whether it's being an artist or a dancer, we motivate each other, and I think that these people that see us in these forms, they understand the culture to the point where it's like, this is what I want to be. This is where I want to stand. I want to be self-made. I want to be an innovator. I want to be able to show people that, yeah, I can do it because I seen somebody else that I know do it, and people that I can see that look like me doing it. So when you see, you see different designers being creative and doing their thing, it's because in the back of their mind, they know that this was the blueprint. Hip hop, R&B, rap, Jamaican music, all of that music is so powerful, very serious, and people just gravitate to it, and you emulate what you hear, you know, you see it. Michael Jackson Michael didn't have jewelry on, but when he had them glitter socks and all that shit on that glitter, that was jewelry to me.
That's right. That's right.
You know what I mean? He had it on. He had the socks on and all that. The glove, Luther had the jacket and all that was jewelry. It didn't necessarily have to be gold or metals. It just was. It represented truck jewelry.
That's funny. That question sparks a question for me to you. Is there was a time when our style wasn't really popular, right? They looked at it like it was ghetto, how we wore it, how big it was, and you fast forward to 2023, and now it's not ghetto. You have people reinterpreting it. What do you see in that shift? Like that shift of when we're wearing it, or people of colors wearing the jewelry versus maybe another race that's wearing it. Like hip hop is America's biggest export, right? We influence the world, right? There was a time where they thought that we were misunderstood. It was a fad. Yeah, we wasn't gonna last that long. We're 50 years deep. You know what I mean? We're gonna keep going. But how do you feel about that? Like, does this bring up anything for you?
People, it's like Trey said a long time ago. If you don't understand the ghetto, stay the fuck out of there. This was our way of coping with disasters and
Talk about it.
having peace within ourselves. We created something that kept us happy, that kept us motivated. I think we just inspire because sometimes you don't know you're an inspiration when you are because of the way you carry yourself. And I think that a lot of people didn't understand how we were moving when we weren't moving like that, when hip hop was just a little something and people, that's a phase, it's gonna go away, and not knowing that this would be something that, now you go walk up in the White House and you have a word now, it's like, yo, your word means something. I just think that everything happens for a reason. I'm a big believer of people that come from the most worst parts do get their opportunities to shine, and that's what it is. When I sit back and I think about our brother Jay-Z, coming from Brooklyn, I know where he come from. I know the streets he walked, the places he been, and to see one of our brothers reach a pedestal that in hip hop that people didn't think could happen is just it's a blessing, it's a blessing. And even more of our other brothers that just came from these poor parts, and it was just only a matter of time. It was only a matter of time that our voices would be heard, in a way to where now we can inspire, all these different high-tech companies and, people that really respect our word. Because before we didn't have a word, we didn't know who we were at one point.
That's right.
Now we do know who we are.
So we're inspiring the world.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna not take that last question. I know there's some questions out there.
Oh, yo. Alright. So my question is, right?
Where you at?
Right here. All right. So, because you were speaking a lot about like etiquette, and like the tastefulness of like knowing like what you're buying, what you're paying for with the jewelry and stuff. So you hear interviews of artists saying like, oh, you should have a chain, whatever. You know, I rap, so I've seen all those interviews. What's your take on fake jewelry?
What's my take on fake jewelry?
Because they say when you go to the concert, with your red jewelry, because somebody might jacket, whatever. You saw about the dangers. So it's like, what's the take? Like, would you know, is there time? Is there no ever?
Let me tell you something. Look, all I can say is, you know, I would rather you not wear it than wear something that's fake. You see what I'm saying? To each his own still. To each his own, but you don't need it.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't need it to be who you are. It's just an accessory to make you better than what you may feel. But you don't need it. You could actually still move a crowd just from here. This is your biggest piece of jewelry, brother. You know what I mean? Always remember. Always remember. You don't have to show this to paint a facade. And you know people do it. It's like, hey, you wear what you want to wear. I mean, you got people that sometimes wear skeleton chains and anything, do whatever. I'm talking about just, that may be how they feel, you know? Sometimes I just look at it as, yo, the talent starts from here in the mind. You know, you get after that, you're rich already, you know? You know, because we know it's an illusion, of course, it's an illusion, but within yourself, you got to know that at the end that doesn't make it.
That's right.
You know, I respect a lot of my friends in the game that don't wear jewelry, and they so powerful to me, you know. And even if they do wear it, I'm like, nah, that's not him. That's like, you didn't even need that. So it all starts from how much knowledge you give in the world. That's your biggest jewel. Any more questions? My man right here. You need a microphone, yo.
She had the mic
I
already.
got the mic.
The
mic was passed. I want you to talk about what you were saying before about Manny was that's couture, right? You went and had something made specifically for you.
Yeah, his name was Manny. Yeah, he was a jeweler from 47th Street.
But
He made Biggie stuff, he made our stuff, a couple of different people, yeah.
But around the way, like you were talking about the first guy that made your fronts. So somebody was out there, a person of color, that was doing couture stuff for the people in the neighborhood, right?
Yeah.
So we did that.
That's
That's all I wanted to say. I'm glad that you brought that out, and I'm glad that you talked about the man around the way.
Right.
Right, 'cause that's couture.
That's right. Yes.
I'm sorry. Pastor Mike Davis.
Peace.
She coming around.
I'm here. Oh. I'm listening now. Raekwon. I'm over here.
I don't know why I'm over here. There's still another crowd set of people over here. Why the hell am I over here? Yeah. I'm sorry.
And I was sitting down saying hi, like what?
I'm sorry.
So I wanted you inspired me to ask you about diamonds, because everything is spiritual. And when you talked about kings and queens and our lineage and our bloodline, what attracts you to diamonds? Because like for me, diamonds is ruled by Venus, and you talk about shining a lot. And I'm like, do you ever have a spiritual encounter with jewelry where, like for me, I love diamonds because it's telling me, shine, be beautiful. But some people see these things as mundane. So for you, what's your connection with diamonds?
I'm like you. I just want to glow. I want to feel, you know. But you said the key thing is it's about the ability to shine, you know. Everybody like nice things that shine, you know, whether it's a car or an outfit or, you know, everybody has their preferences. I guess for me, you know, like I said, I wear it now more as just to get on stage and, you know, just feel good about myself, but it's all about just that ability to feel like you are important. You're working for something. You earned something. I'm always go back to that factor of us coming from where we coming from and not being able to have anything, you know. You know, I remember, you know, as a kid, my mother didn't have, you know, I come from a single home. My mother didn't have money like that. You know, one pair of sneakers, I might have had to rock those for 6 months, and you know, just I knew how to appreciate what I had, and then when I was able to make some money and appreciate other things. So I think that's the main thing, is like you gotta be able to appreciate from the smallest to the biggest.
Totally.
You know, all I can say is I feel the same way you do. It just gives you the ability to feel great, and yeah, I'm shining, you know. But I think us as artists, we just feel like it's a utility kit for us to express ourselves, in a way where we could be heard, we could be looked at as, yo, you accomplished something, and that's really it.
I have a question now. So what happened to the person that did your first fronts? Where's he at?
I don't know. I haven't seen him in a long time.
In a long time, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, get my man some.
I just want to say you're an inspiration to me. I've been a Wu-Tanger since I can remember, and you're an inspiration to generations.
Thank you,
will
bro.
be forever.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Top 5 Michael Jordan jewelry people in hip hop.
Wow.
Top
That's
5.
dope. Thank you, bro. Respect.
Who you got?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm very tall, so I apologize for those of you I'm black in the back. My question is actually for Madam McHale. I'm a jewelry designer located here in New York. And I wanted to know 2 questions. One, what are your top recommendations or pieces of advice for young jewelry designers starting out in New York? And 2, do you mentor people? If so, should we talk after this?
We could definitely talk after this. To be honest with you and to be 100% transparent, my background is in streetwear, and I wanted to find I wanted to roll over into jewelry, streetwear, jewelry, hip hop style. It really informed me. And I just wanted to do something new, and I wanted to center our community. So it's not that I am trained in the industry, but I'm really going by my heart and passion and who I want to represent. And in that, I find creativity in that, to be honest with you. And then I'm learning the trade itself in real time. If you stick with what you feel and your passion, it will lead you down the road to where you can educate yourself and become a major player.
Hi, I wanted to ask you about how you align with the custom designer that you're gonna work with. Like, do you go for a designer that you like their aesthetic typically, or when you align yourself with a jeweler, you're kind of like, this is my vision and I just want to execute that?
For me, I like to come in with ideas. I like to be able to, kind of give the person a vision of what I might be thinking. Of course, we look for certain jewelers that have, a certain kind of standards with the stuff they make. I think it's important to, see what kind of quality of jewelry that they make. But yes, a real jeweler will always tell you he would love to see what you think, because they want to always give you the opportunity to say that you are hands-on with making something. That's why you see a lot of times, if there's one piece out there that everybody like prime example, like the Jesus piece, right? I remember when Ghost first got the Jesus piece, right? Because he had it before. He actually was the first one to have one.
Before Biggie, yeah.
This
Say
was
it.
back in
Yeah.
this was back in '95. And now you see you could get them everywhere, you know. So a lot of times, you know, a lot of jewelry makers, they see what people like and then they'll go out and they'll make basically that and say, well, we got it too, whatever the case may be. That been going on for a long time, even with gold rope chains, 2-finger rings.
I actually want to ask that question.
You know, every jeweler may have that in their box some kind of way. But, you know, I think the most important thing is to come in and be creative with them. You know, kind of sit down and talk about what represents you, what you may like. You know, you may be spiritual. You know, you may want a cross, or it's just all about your personality, and that's how your jewelry should reflect you sometimes as well. You know, something may, you know, now I see a lot of people, a lot of jewelers, they make stuff with pictures of family members and all that. I thought that was dope, like to be able to wear something that, you know, it's like almost like a portrait of your family or your loved one, you know. But back then it might have been a locket or something, like you open it up and then you see pictures of. So it's all about the what you may add on to them and what they can help you kind of get to, you know, because you know it's all about connecting when you're making your jewelry.
Thank you.
Any more questions?
What's up? My name is DJ Jazzy V. I actually have 2 questions, if you don't mind. My first question is, and by the way, shout out to you, Wu-Tang, you guys killed it at Atlantic City. I was there working with Nas. You guys were lit. I want to ask, what do you think is the best beat RZA ever produced? Say it because you want I'm a producer too, that's fine.
RZA made a lot of beats, but I would probably say Cream was probably the most. He was going into a different chamber with that one. He wanted to kind of like not make us dance, but make us think with that beat.
Right.
So I would definitely say that one.
Okay. And I was gonna say my second question is, was there ever a time in the beginning of your music career where, you know, it wasn't so easy to just go to the studio because, you know, it's mad money to go to the studio and, you know, pay for everything that has to get done. Was there ever, you know, something, even if it was jewelry or a jacket or something that you would look at it, or even your family and be like, you know what, that's the reason why I'm going to the studio right now, because that's how I be feeling sometimes, you know, like think about my family and I'm like, you know what, on the hardest days, that's why I still go rock out, you feel me?
Right. I guess when I put on a hoodie or something, like, it just get that youthful vibe again. You know, I love to wear like sweatsuits and stuff like that, but that keeps me close to the music in some way because it's almost like active wear that you just feel comfortable in and you could just slouch around. You know, I love to dress like that even to this day. I'm a 50-year-old man, y'all, so I think I'm gonna stay in sweats forever. For real.
Makes him comfortable, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hello, I just want to say big fan, but my question is, you know, because you mentioned jewelry, you know, is empowerment, you know, like you said, it's a symbol, you know, kings and queens. But I wanted to say, you know, when you was coming up and building your image, was there any way that you know, was resonating with that king and queen image with clothes before you could afford, you know, the fancy jewelry and all that stuff?
Good question. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it was always about the